with the self-defense stuff, there's a big discussion in the martial arts world of what is the best martial art for self-defense.
Fuck.
It's a big question, isn't it?
Track running. I'm serious, running. Yeah, just fucking don't be there. Like, man, the best, I don't know, it's like the best martial arts for self-defense. The best martial arts for self-defense is communication. I feel like you should just, I'm going to get real political here. I mean, you should just be able to talk, like, I've never really had fights outside of professional fights or jiu-jitsu tournaments and stuff like that. I've maybe had like 1 or 2 altercations in my life. I think I threw a person through a fence one day at a party, you know, like, so yeah, judo. Judo. And that was because, and it's like, and that was just that. I mean, that was just because like someone that was like, like some people just like walking down the street decided they wanted to pick a fight with my friend and I wasn't having it. But yeah, I mean, like, best martial arts for self-defense is like, once again, I feel like you should just be able to talk. You can pretty well talk your way out of most situations, and not let it escalate to that. Because, yeah, I mean, like broken hands and, you know, things are very unforgiving in like a fight, like just an outside street fight scenario.
That's such an interesting insight because you're a professional in the space for 20 years, 21 years.
Yeah.
And people literally say, like, I've heard this from so many people. They're like I'm also in that group. Like, I started jiu-jitsu for self-defense, right? Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, if anyone tries to fuck with me, I can just like, but really, man, like, I'm not really gonna. This is what I've learned. I'm not gonna use jiu-jitsu because I've learned through jiu-jitsu that there's people like you're a brown belt, right? On the way to black belt, and like, man, I don't want to pick a fight with someone who I think I can take on and realize that he's a fucking black belt.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's like my concept when people talk to me about like self-defense, they'll always like make this scenario. They're like, what do you do if like you get into a fight in like a bar and you're standing there and this guy wants to fight you, and I'm like, do I have to participate? And he's like, they're like, what are you going to do? And they're like, are you going to use your boxing? Are you going to use your judo, your boxing? And I'm like, no, I'm going to pick up the chair and throw it at him. Like, why would I use I'm like, there are fucking 27 bones in my hands and wrists. Why would I use that to try and hit someone without a glove on with no stability and support? That's why people break knuckles all the time. I'm going to pick up a hard object and like, one, because it keeps more distance. Like, the idea of self-defense is distance management. The more you can manage distance, the safer you will be. Okay, so like with jiu-jitsu, we talk about being completely out of range or completely in range. So it's like the reason jiu-jitsu works as a self-defense thing is it takes the force away from strikes. There is a danger zone, which we call the pocket, which you know from boxing, which is the point where if I extend my arms and I start to swing, this will hit your head. There's maximum momentum and velocity here. All right, so you want to be either all the way out of that or all the way in that, in the like scenario of a clinch, okay? Because if we're holding each other effectively in a little bit of a cuddle, you know, you can't generate as much force to punch me and hurt me, okay? So it's just like, that is why jiu-jitsu is effective as a self-defense, because it closes the distance, puts the fight on the floor, reduces the amount of momentum that punches can come through. Okay, so it's just like, we look at self-defense as just distance management. Being able to stay just further back is pretty well all you need to know. Why would you want to go? It's like, you got to remember, it's like, if you can punch someone, they can punch you. It's not one-way traffic, okay? There are no one-way roads in a street fight, you know? It's just like, if I'm putting myself in a position to punch you, I am also putting myself in a position to be punched. I don't want that. I don't know about you. I don't like being punched. My whole concept of fighting is to take as little damage as possible. I like my brain the way it is, not scrambled. So, I'd say to someone, they're like, oh, what would you do if you got into this scenario? I don't know, what's around me? I'm in a bar. I'll pick up a stool and I'll push them away. I don't know, fuck it. Or like, would you punch them? No, probably, like, if we're here, I'll probably push kick them because it's a longer range weapon and, you know, my foot doesn't have as many bones in it. There's not as much chance of me injuring myself. Also, it's like, you get into a fight in a bar, it's like, it's just kind of fucking stupid because it's not like it's like when you go into a professional fight, it's just one dude I got to worry about. You know, I'm like, there's rules. People are like, oh, you're used to fighting. I'm like, man, it's different. It's like, it's so much different. It's more of a sport, and I mean, it's a brutal sport, but there's an area. So we have containment, right? There's no obstacles. It's a matted area, so it's relatively safe. Okay, we're wearing gloves, and there's only one dude. There's only one person in front of me. Now let's go to the street or in a bar. Okay, we're in a bar having a fight. There's a table, there's a chair. There are many, many hard, sharp objects for me to crack my head on and run into and get out of the way on and trip over. The concrete, the floor is very fucking stiff and hard. Like most people don't, we see this, we had this thing in Australia at one point, they started getting really harsh with penalties on people for this, or they call like it was a one punch rule, I can't think like that. And it was from people, there was people dying just from getting into a street fight and getting hit once, okay, and they didn't get, it's like, so they were getting brain damage or things like this. And it's like, what happens is like you hit someone once, right? So people would get king hit. So like blindsided, like big swing come through, boom. Okay, and it's not necessarily the punch that hurt them that might have like made them wobble and go down, but it's when they fall down to the floor and crack their head on the concrete. It's like that's what kills people.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the punch that did it. It's the force of impact afterwards. Because you hit this person, they're knocked out. They're not in a safe environment. They fall straight down. They crack their head on a curb. Bang, dead. It's like there were multiple cases of that in Australia. So that's the thing that people don't get. It's like if you're not just playing with a few fucking bruises here. You're potentially playing with fucking life-ending circumstances when you get into these scenarios. So it's no, I'll pass.
Yeah,
I like life too much.
Yeah, exactly, and that you can have a life sentence for that. Like
exactly.
8 years.
Yeah.
Actually, some guy on that.
This has happened before too with like guys in martial arts. I've heard stories of this as well. It's like a fighter gets into an altercation where he has to defend himself, does something to the other person. Like I'll take judo for example. Like man, you can fucking kill someone with judo very easily.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll just slam 100%. On their head or whatever.
Huh?
Slam on their head.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Judo is all about picking a human up and hurling them towards the floor as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Do that on concrete, aim with someone's head, boop, dead. Yeah. You can't tell. It's like I could just pick you. Like you've been on the end of like that drop unagi in class, right?
Mate, yeah.
Now, could you imagine if I redirected that? Could you imagine if we were standing on concrete and I redirected the arc of that throw to make sure you landed on your face?
Done.
What kind of damage are we doing there?
Yeah.
You know, it's you're not really playing with toys here. It's like fucking shit is for keeps in the streets. I'm not trying to go to jail. I'm not built for jail. I'm too pretty.
But you do well in there though, with your skill set.
Oh, it's fucking hell.
We're picking up the soap for you.
Oh God. Hi boys.
Yeah, like the mindset you have with regards to, you know, if let's say you're out with your girlfriend, some guy, this has happened to me before, some guy squeezes her ass. She's like, babe, this guy just fucking touched my ass. What do you do in that situation?
I love that you assumed that I had a girlfriend. Single. You just have a word to him, man. I'm pretty sure, man, it's not okay. I don't think it's worth like fucking getting into a fight over.
But what would you say to the guy? Because she's fucking pissed. She's like, he's fucking touched my ass.
No, I'd fucking go over there and make him apologize. Yeah. And fucking pull your head.
What if he says, no, man, fuck you?
Then, I don't know. Maybe choke him out. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm pretty sure most things can, like, if you, the thing is like, most people don't want to fight. And this is what I've learned. Most people are all talk and no show. So if you present 9 times out of 10, if you present the opportunity, someone will, and like you hold confidence in that space when you'd say to someone like, no, fucking apologize now. Like, I'm not fucking around. Like you can tell, and it's like, you can tell when someone is just like doing the show and they're like, there's an air of confidence when someone just says, like, looks you in the eye and it's like, no, this isn't a joke. Like you're gonna apologize now. And they see the seriousness and they go, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, I fucked up. Yeah, because it's not there for a big reaction to show. It's like, no, do this or something's gonna happen. I'm not sure. 9 times out of 10, nothing is ever gonna happen.
Yeah,
and
it helps if you've got cauliflower ears. Like if you've got like big cauliflower ears. Like me and my friends joke about that. We're like, where can we buy some cauliflower ears? And no one fucks with us.
Dude, I don't get it. Man, cauliflower ears, I've got one. Mine's tiny though.
Yeah, so
because I looked after it. I drained it. I'll never understand. I was like, I've been in jiu-jitsu class before, and it's like a white belt gets like kneed in the ear, and he's like, it's swollen up, and he's like, do you think this is gonna? They'll come up to me and they're like, do you think this is gonna swell into a cauliflower? And I'm like, yeah, you're gonna need. I'm like, dude, you need to go and you need to go and get a 2 ml syringe. Like, bring it back here. I'll drain it for you. We're gonna have to save bandage. He's like, no, I want it. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? They're like, oh yeah, it's just like, it's like a fucking, it's like white and blue belt, just like a sense of achievement to get your first cauliflower ear. It's like, no. I'm like, do you want to look like a fucking set of wing nuts every time you wear a hat now? Like, I don't know about you, but like, this is not a good look.
It's a scarce resource that is wanted by many.
Yeah, I know. It's just, I don't understand I don't understand the want or need or admiration for having cauliflower ears. Because it's like, it's like you can't wear. It's like my mates that have them and they didn't look after them. It's like, say goodbye to earbuds. They can only wear over the ear headphones because nothing fits in their fucking ears anymore. They get ear infections too, because it's like it starts to close over the space and it becomes harder. It's like harder to hear. All this shit. When it gets to the stage where it's harder to hear, you have to go in for surgery and have them cut out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
Fuck. I know that.
That's gnarly. Yeah, they split your ear open. They take all the calcification out.
Fuck.
Yeah,
shit.
mental.
Yeah, fucking hell.
I just want to know if you get to keep it afterwards. Do you put it on a key ring?
Yeah, it's quite valuable, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh no, all my gains, my hard work. Ah.
So the ability to be confident in that moment, do you think comes from the training that you have? Like, because if you don't know how to fight, this is something I was speaking with a few guys about recently. Like, if you don't know how to fight, like, you can't be the opposite because you already know you don't know how to fight.
I beg to differ on that. If you don't know how to fight, that can give you so much confidence because you're just too stupid to understand you don't know how to fight.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. There are a lot of people who don't know how to fight that think they know how to fight really well. Really well. Yeah. I've never really trained, but you know, I know what to do if I got into a fight. I'm like, no, you don't. You fucking literally don't. You know, it's because it just seems like a really simple thing, and I'm like, you have zero fucking idea what you're doing. I'm like, what are you playing at? Yeah, I know. And I'm like, no, it's not like fucking coded with you from birth. Like,